Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player at any age or any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easier to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
NeuroGuard to control my breathing while I'm riding. It stops me getting concussions while I wreck. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
I'm still doing stunts. And the concussions I've got, I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
Hey, that was a good point.
I think we might start seeing some go back.
Lights are bright on Friday
We
night.
have finally
Small
got
Texas
there,
town.
folks. It's time to talk
train
playoff
like
football in the
monsters
state of
claiming there
Texas.
ain't
Hello, everybody.
nobody around.
Terry Bennett, Grant Goodwin, Sideline to Sideline, brought to you by NeuroGuard Plus, right here on L4 Media. It's the 4A edition. And I know we say it every year, but man, we are now the next 6 weeks are the greatest 6 weeks in the year, no matter what.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Doing these shows on Tuesday night, then going to the games and seeing the upsets, seeing the teams that are just vying for a state championship that have a shot, and every week it's win or go home. Great time to be a Texan, man. Great time to be a Texan.
Well, and yes, I know Dallas is struggling, and technically Houston is too right now with 2 back-to-back losses. But you're in that perfect sweet spot of football. You still have multiple college games, but you're seeing their playoffs around the hill. By the way, we want to go ahead and announce that Outdrank the Coverage, along with Grant Goodwin, we're going to be doing college football playoff preview shows for each round of the playoffs, so you'll be able to check those out on YouTube. But
how did I get that invite?
Actually, you didn't. I actually hit
extensive knowledge.
I actually hit reply all.
I do have extensive.
You're good at college football. Just don't ask me about the Cowboys.
I watch every game every Saturday, and my wife complains, but I tell her it's for work now.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, honey, I'm just working hard. Didn't you want a hard-working man trying to bring home the bacon?
The bacon of talking college football that we're getting absolutely no money from.
But don't worry, I won't watch any NFL football on Sunday. Unless you want to watch Cowboys, we can, which she will.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to admit. So you and I have two different wives when it comes to sports.
Mm-hmm.
Yours isn't necessarily a big sports fan, but she loves the pageantry and the get-togethers.
She loves college football.
Yeah.
And she loves the Cowboys.
And getting together
Outside
and
of
cooking.
that, I'm on my own watching.
Yeah. Mine is like she knows nothing about football, but as long as you give her food and drink, she'll happily sit there and right next to me and watch football. And she's
knitting.
Well, she's watching stuff on her phone, or she'll
okay.
even watch. Like she decided this year. So her job, they have a pick 'em. So she decided this year she wanted to do them on her own. I don't help her, and she's already won one time.
Really?
Yeah, she's like the
Wow.
one when you throw out the NCAA basketball bracket and she picks by mascots,
Yeah.
and she wins.
Those are the kind of people you take to the horse races. Oh, I love their name
Yeah,
or
and
the
then
color. Or that's a pretty
It's
horse.
a 250 to 1,
oh,
and she
that's
hits.
stupid. You don't bet because it's a pretty horse. And then she goes ahead and bets on it, and then you bet on one that's a 5 to 1.
Exactly.
Her pretty horse was 50 to 1, and that thing wins. So yeah, I know that.
Anyway, if you look to the
I
center,
need a loan. Anybody, give me a loan.
if you look to the center of the table, you see it. We see it. It's the best thing that's happened in sideline to sideline history. It's playoff football tree, adorned with all the things that we have done this year and some last year too. We were talking before we record, and we always get together and kind of chill before we start recording. I mean, we got to get our water and our hydration, and we got to make sure we're ready for all this, hydration with
My racetrack.
yeah, your racetrack, whiskey on tap. I genuinely think that in the history sideline to sideline, playoff tree might be the coolest thing we've ever done.
Yeah, playoff tree knows the importance of running the football.
Run
right?
that damn ball.
Yeah, run the damn ball. So yeah, outstanding theme every year now for Texas high school football. Playoff tree knows best.
And speaking of playoff tree, this year playoff tree is brought to you by Lazy Dog Kettle Corn. You can find them on Facebook. Just type in Lazy Dog, and it's dog, DAWG, kettle corn. As you can see on the screen, you can also go to 5gfarmtexas.com/shop. Here's the cool thing, and I meant to pull this one up, and I'll get it up next week.
They also make
pork rinds. They also have sample
and this
packs.
is Cajun pork
Yeah,
rinds.
there's Cajun.
And I've sampled a few of these.
It's amazing.
Really, really
so
good.
I have to ask you, in their pork rinds, they have little packs of hot sauce.
Oh.
I actually like spicy brown mustard with my pork rinds.
Really?
Yes, I love that. So
I like a Mexican hot sauce. on
Yeah,
there,
it's
but
cotija,
These Cajun pork rinds from Lazy Dog they don't even need hot sauce. They taste kind of smoked.
Yeah, you said
Have you ever had a smoked pork rind?
Yeah, so
really good.
And this one right here, this Lazy Dog, this kettle corn is actually dill pickle. I didn't even realize it was dill pickle when I grabbed it.
And what's this one? We hadn't tried this one yet.
I think that might be. Oh, that's the cinnamon apple. I'm saving that for when it gets cold.
Pretty damn cold in here right now.
No, it's not.
It's always cold in the studio. It can be 100 degrees outside, and I got to wear this.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I'm wearing shorts.
But you're the hottest natured person I've
Oh,
ever
you call
met.
me hot. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate
you are
that.
pretty hot.
But anyway, the cool thing about Lazy Dog Kettle Corn is if you go to their website, they actually have sample packs. They have a sideline to sideline sample pack, an L4 media pork rinds sample pack, and an outdrank to coverage sample pack.
My identity is through a pork rind now.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I guess I have let myself go.
Yes, you have. Well, you look pretty good yourself too, bro. But anyway, they are the playoff tree sponsor, and they're also our outdrank to coverage sponsor. We do appreciate that. We'll be talking about them for the rest of the playoffs, hopefully for longer. We always joke about it. We don't like to advertise any food that we would not eat, and this is legitimately amazing. I'm a popcorn, kettle corn guy. Like I love movie popcorn, but I love kettle corn even more. So please go check out Lazy Dog Kettle Corn.
Yeah, didn't we turn down a $100,000 advertising pitch that was like Kyle's Kale Farm or something, and we're like, nah, sorry. Keep your $100,000.
I wish I could lie, but if you're going to offer me $100,000, I will eat kale and smile.
Too. Yeah, never mind.
This is the 4A edition of the show. We're going to be doing what we always do in the playoffs, but first, we got to set a couple rules. First off, we will be having a pick'em competition, but we're going to start next week. I apologize for last week. I actually got COVID for the first time, and
you don't wash your hands. I've never seen you wash your hands anytime. We can go into
this dude's making stuff
Texas
up at this point.
Rest stop, which is probably the just dirtiest place in the world outside of India.
You know the weirdest
And
thing
you
about the rest stops?
Whip it out, you pee, and then you don't wash your hands.
But the weird thing about the Texas rest stops with you is when we go in there, there'll be 3 or 4 guys mulling around. They look weird, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Grant," and you're like, "Oh, hey, guys." But anyway,
well played, sir.
so anyway,
well
so
played.
what we do here, if this is the first time you're checking
I
out
was
one,
peeing. I was peeing too.
I'm a European. Anyway, if this is the first time you're listening to one of the playoff shows, you're probably going, wait a minute, I thought they were going to talk playoffs. This is what we do on these playoff shows. These are a little bit different than our regular season shows, especially the first couple rounds because there's so many games. We don't review or preview. We're just going to walk right down the bracket. We're going to pick every game, and then every couple games we'll say, hey, this one's an interesting one. What are your thoughts on that? So just understand, like next week, we probably won't talk a lot about week 1 games unless we were at the game, or if something just like a big upset or something amazing happened, we'll reference it. But I just want to make sure for people that are new and this is the first time they're checking us out, it's a little different. We're going to be picking every playoff game, but before we do that, hang on, I got to make sure everything is set. We got Coach X's diatribe. So how he's going to do the first round is we let him pick a couple games in every class to talk about in every division. Basically, I think he picked 1 game per division in 4A. So I'm going to do his diatribe, and then we're going to start talking football. And then whenever his game comes up, we'll read his game. But here is his diatribe. Well, playoff football is here, which means the playoff tree is back, and he got a sponsor. Well, why shouldn't he? He's a tree, and not just Grant with Satan filler. What is he talking about right there? Coach X used to have a sponsor, but he got too real. I ain't no sellout, but I'm also not too proud to beg. So, hey, they're Fat Dog Kettle. Wow. See, you can't even name our sponsor. This is why you can't get sponsored, Coach X. Hey, Fat Dog Kettle Corn, why not sponsor Coach X? I have had several.
Whoa.
What?
Playoff tree?
Yeah, playoff tree.
Look, I don't know why Coach X thinks he can match the magic of playoff tree. You want a sponsor? I've got a sponsor. And here's why. You just got finished coaching at Hot Dog High, and I have basically, look, here's a story right here. Take Stanford, for instance, right? Stanford, they are the Cardinal, singular, right? I go down, or out to Palo Alto, California, and I pitch myself. I say, look, I'm a tree, I know you're the Cardinal, but let's strike up a meal deal. Name, image, likeness. Put my image and likeness on the side of your helmet. I'm a tree. Boom, we strike a deal. I'm on the side of their helmet, and they got a mascot running around the sideline, which is a tree. I'm a millionaire. All of a sudden, I almost struck up a nice little thing with Stephen F. Austin until I figured out they were the lumberjacks and they're trying to chop me down, which everybody is, especially people like Coach X that can't make it in the real world. So I rest my case. I look forward to speaking to you next week with some playoff analysis, some of the games that happened. Coach X, just be sitting there, drawing that hot dog high pension, doing nothing.
All right, so now let me 10 minutes in and we're off the rails. Let me finish Coach X. I have had several dogs and fed them all with kettle corn, and they all got fat. It's a match made in heaven. Most of them died from diabetes too. So let's make it happen, Captain. And that's what Coach X has to say. So apparently, Grant, you had left the room. Grant had left the room. Grant, Playoff Tree was here. I wish you'd have heard him. But apparently, Playoff Tree and Coach X are going to have some issues this playoff season.
I hate to see the beef between those two because they were really good friends.
Well, there was.
I mean, I think, Coach X actually camped under him one night.
That's what
in a bad way.
I think
pitched his tent under Playoff Tree.
I think that's where it started. Those Playoff Tree sapped all over
probably
him. And
felt a little violated, right? And then Playoff Tree grew a little bit bigger and stronger than Coach X, and Here we go, man. It's going to be off to the races this playoff season between those two.
Speaking of here we go, let's talk full. Wait, I hit the wrong one. See, you got me all messed up because you
I
wanted
didn't
to
do
see
anything.
all
What did I
that.
do?
I wanted to see that. Now here we go. Let's talk playoff football. We're going to start Class 4A, Division 1, Region 1. And by the way, this is actually one of the games that Coach X wants to talk about. So I'll go ahead and jump into it. El Paso, Austin, 9-1 versus Dumas, 4-6. This game's Friday, 6 p.m. Denver City's Mustang Stadium. Coach X has to say, dude, we haven't talked about the Dumas Walkers all season. What an oversight. The Walkers don't like the young folk hanging around, but you got to see them grin where the money walks through the door. The Walkers are going to walk on to round 2. I agree. I know pretty record with
100%.
Austin. Yeah, Dumas has played a tougher schedule. Dumas will win. They'll take on the winner of Lampasas 8-2 versus Pecos 3-7. This game is Thursday at Walls Hawk Stadium. Not many times you see a 4A play down to a 3A.
Right.
Also, how weird is it that Dumas versus Lampasas, or technically Dumas versus Lampasas versus El Paso Austin could be a second round game?
Well, I'm just thinking like Lampasas. I think Lampasas is going to win this game.
Oh, yeah.
Over Pecos. Reed Jerome, the quarterback for Lampasas, dual threat quarterback. Pecos does not have the defense to handle him, and I don't think offensively they can crack what's been a pretty good Lampasas defense. Lampasas is good for a few rounds at least in Class 4A Division 1, Region 1. But so where would a Lampasas Dumas game, like that's geographically a long ways
San
away.
Angelo?
Even as maybe. Flip home and home, Abilene or Lubbock. I don't know.
But
that's just a weird, Lampasas being in Region 1, they go between Region 1 and Region 4. Being in Region 1, just a little odd for Lampasas.
Yeah, no, it really is. And just speaking of, and we'll start, and by the way, at the end of each.
Same thing for Burnett. They're in Region 1, but
Yeah.
they're closer to Region 4.
And by the way, I forgot to say that at the end of each region, we'll kind of give each week, we'll kind of give who we see as being the region championship. Canyon West Plains 7-3 versus Clint 4-6. This is one of the games that's over in Artesia in New Mexico at the Bulldog Bowl.
Cool stadium if you've ever.
I was going to say, first off, if you don't know, Artesia is a football rabid town in New Mexico. They would assimilate very well. First off, New Mexico football is pretty fun, but Artesia is one of those that would assimilate well into Texas football. They're one of those, and they will, that third party fan base will come out for that game.
Oh yeah,
they love football, and
they love Texas football because Artesia is one of the best programs in New Mexico. So being on a Thursday night, their team's not playing in the playoffs.
No, they're playing
Thursday
on Friday.
night.
Yeah,
right. So they're going to show out. Give me West Plains in this one though.
Yeah, give me West Plains in this one. Big Spring 5-5 versus Brownwood 5-4. This game is in San Angelo at San Angelo Stadium, 7 p.m. Friday.
Another great venue.
Yes, give me Brownwood, but this could be closer than what people think. I'm not really impressed with Brownwood. I think they're better than Big Spring.
They are better than Big Spring, and I agree with you. It'll be close. I think Brownwood by 7 to 10 points, maybe.
Yeah. Andrews 4-6 versus Burnett 5-5. This game is in San Angelo as well. Thursday at 7 p.m. at the San Angelo
Why don't
Stadium.
we just go get a hotel room Thursday in San Angelo and just stay there for a doubleheader? Well, not doubleheader, but a Thursday and a Friday game.
That wouldn't be a bad thing. I've got
Burnett. Burnett all
I've
day.
got
Burnett is the best 5-5 team in Region 1.
That's a good way to look at it.
They are. They are.
No, I don't disagree with you there.
I mean, Andrews, honestly, I don't think stands a chance against the Bulldogs. Give me Burnett by 14 to 21 points.
I'm missing one. It says Canyon Randall, but then it stops.
Isleta.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Who's 8-2?
Canyon Randall.
This is over in Hobbs, New Mexico.
Thank you. That's
Thursday.
Hobbs is not as much into football, but they do have a cool. Watson Memorial Stadium. I've been through there. It's cool there.
Pretty decent casino and horse track in Hobbs too, by the way.
Yeah, but if you don't
that
watch
goes
out,
back to my needing a loan.
Get shot and stabbed there real quick.
Kelly and I spent a whole weekend in Hobbs in July or August this past summer, and Had a great time there at the casino and horse racing.
They just
track.
asked you never to come back.
Well, yeah.
Or did they ask you to come back?
No, they actually, got caught cheating. So, there's that.
Does Kelly forgive? Oh, you meant cheating on the table. So how were you? How exactly were you cheating?
That's secrets I can't divulge. All right, Kenyon Randall wins this game. You know what? Athleta's actually. You go look at their schedule. I know it's hard to equate some of those El Paso schedules, but I think Athleta could hang in there with them, with Kenyon Randall. But I think Kenyon Randall, with their quarterback and receivers and a really good running back, Randall wins this football game.
Well, and again, in 4A Division I, your 4 playoff teams are Austin, Riverside, Yoseta, and Clint, and they all only beat each other, but their non-district schedules aren't really good and inside that district.
Right.
You just don't know if you can trust them. At least with Randall, they've played some pretty solid teams. Speaking of solid teams, Stephenville 9-1 versus San Angelo Lakeview 2-8. This game is at Shotwell and Abilene Friday at 7 p.m.
This is going to be a bloodletting.
Yeah, Stephenville can name their score.
Names their score and leaves Abilene and sets up a great second round matchup between the winner of El Paso Riverside and Hereford. Riverside 9-1, Hereford 7-3. But much like the Athleta team, that 8-2 record, Riverside's 9-1 doesn't match up to what like Hereford's 7-3 record is.
Give
right?
me Hereford in this game.
Oh yeah, by far. This is at 6:00 Friday at Ratliff Stadium in Odessa. Caleb Ramirez, almost 2,000 yards passing for Hereford. Brian Lopez, around 1,300 yards rushing. The defense for Hereford, the Whiteface has been so much better this season.
Yeah,
I mean they started so many freshmen and sophomores the last 2 years.
Yep.
This is why we say, starting these young guys early, you take your lumps, but then this is what happens when they become juniors and seniors.
Yep, exactly. All right, so overall, to me, in a division and 4A Division I that's going to be really, really interesting and competitive, I don't see this falling any other way than Lampasas versus Stephenville for the region.
Absolutely. I think Stephenville and Lampasas will be your Region 1 championship.
All right, let's move over now to Region 2, and we'll start with Springtown 9-1 versus River Oaks Castleberry 5-5. This game is Thursday at Saginaw's Pioneer Stadium, very underrated stadium in of itself. Give me Springtown. They can almost name their score if they want to.
Yeah, they'll kill Castleberry. Kane Hill, that quarterback for Stephenville, man, has he not just stepped in and just taken over this team and really created a dominant team? Nobody talks about Stephenville or Springtown statewide, but you went out and saw them. After you went out and saw them and raved about them, I went back and looked at a few of their games and watched a half of about 3 of their games. And let me tell you, this Springtown team is dangerous.
No, I like the Porcupines. I like the draw that they have in the playoffs when you look at this, and we'll speak about that. And let's go to this next game. Carter 6-4, Dallas Carter, versus Sulphur Springs 8-2, 7:30 at Greenville's Ford Stadium. Now, these two teams both of them dropped down at the same time, and these two teams have played in back-to-back playoffs, and they've been really, really good games. Last year, Carter beat Sulphur Springs 41-35 in the first round. The year before, Carter beat Sulphur Springs 37-33. So it's really easy to say, oh, well, Sulphur Springs will win this game. But they've got to get over that hump of beating Carter. And yes, Carter has a 6-4 record, but here are their losses. Van, Panther Creek, Pine Tree, and Kimball. And Kimball might have one of the most underrated best quarterbacks in 4A. I mean, this dude is an absolute beast. I'm talking about Amari Williams, and I'm not saying Kimball's about to go on a big run, but I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. I do think Sulphur Springs gets over the hump, but it would not shock me if Carter wins this game.
Yeah, I like Sulphur Springs, but going back, look, yes, their 4 losses are good losses. Sulphur Springs also has to rebound after getting pretty much shellacked last week, right?
Yeah,
they took it on the chin last week.
Does that not kind of question everything again?
What was that score?
41-14 against Panther Creek.
Yeah, Panther Creek.
And
so recovering after that, Sulphur Springs at times. Look, we saw Sulphur Springs against Salina, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but at times I thought Sulphur Springs could be one of those teams that just go mental. You get down on them.
No, I think that's a valid point. Yeah.
And they're going to get down. And, after that Panther Creek shellacking, Sulphur Springs might be a wounded deer.
That's a really good point.
I do like Sulphur Springs, but I think it's going to be close because I don't know that Sulphur Springs' mental toughness is all there 100%.
No, I actually like that. I was kind of worried that you were going to lean into, well, it's Carter and they can't be trusted. And again, Sulphur Springs hasn't beat Carter in the last two. And I'm impressed with and I know they lost them, but Carter went out this year and said, we need to schedule better non-district teams. And going and losing by 8 to Van, going and losing by 14 to Pine Tree. Those are quality losses. And it's funny to say that about Pine Tree, but we'll talk about Pine Tree in a minute. You know what, dude?
This is a really good Carter
I'm actually
team.
leaning to I'm going Carter in this one.
I am. Well, I'm still going Sulphur Springs because if Sulphur Springs is the team we thought they were a month ago, they win this football game in a close one, but they win this football game. And if Sulphur Springs is the program they think they are, right?
Yeah.
They think they're coming up, and they're the up and comer in Class 4A. They win this game. It doesn't have to be a blowout. It's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be tooth and nail the whole time. But I think Sulphur Springs does win this football game, but it's going to be probably one of the best by-district games out there.
Alvarado 10-0 versus Fort Worth Eastern Hill 4-6 Friday at Fort Worth Crowley ISD Stadium. Alvarado names their own score.
Yeah, Alvarado, probably one of the most underrated teams in Class 4A Division I with Cardia Collar at quarterback. Alvarado might be
they're third in state. They're not underrated.
They moved up to third.
Yeah,
the last 2 weeks I quit.
Yeah, I always
paying attention to the rankings.
Yes.
Now it's all just meat
You're
on bone.
You're going to figure it out. Yeah.
Right.
Panther Creek 9-1 versus Pinkston 4-6. This is at Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, 7 p.m. Friday. Panther Creek wins.
Yeah, Panther Creek wins, but I still have concerns about Panther Creek.
Oh, no, I do too. Salina 10-0 versus Wilmer Hutchins 7-3. This is Carrollton Stanridge Thursday at 7:30. Give me Salina in this one.
Give me Salina. That tough defensive front for Salina makes them one of the favorites in all of Class 4A Division I to win the state championship. And then you throw in Bo Bentley, quarterback, Logan Gutierrez, and Harrison Williams at running back. This Salina team is humming right now.
Kennedale 5-5 versus Southwest 5-5. This is at Kennedale. Friday at 7:30. Give me Kennedale in this one. I thought they played Alvarado pretty good last week for a lot of that game.
Yeah, but did Alvarado pull some guys? And
you always have to. Right, but I mean that is a big rivalry.
I think Kennedale is not the same Kennedale as what we were talking about.
And they still got beat bad. I don't want to pretend like they did, but I'm just saying. But but that is a big rivalry, so I don't know if they pulled them. But I mean, again, Alvarado won comfortably.
And they'll take on the winner of Dallas Kimball and Aubrey over at Clark Field in Plano on Thursday. This might be an interesting one to tune into. Aubrey's got a big old quarterback, about 6'5", something like that. Really good quarterback. Kimball has a good quarterback. Give me Aubrey in a close one, though, but I would not be surprised to see Kimball win this one.
Yeah, I like Kimball in this one. I think Kimball in this bottom half of the region, I very much think it's Salina versus Kimball in round 3.
Really?
Yeah, I really do. Decatur 6-4 versus Ranchview 5. By the way, congratulations, Carrollton Ranchview, for making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Ranchview 5-5. This game's at Fort Worth Eagle Mountain Knights. I don't know why I call it Fort Worth. It's Eagle Mountain Knights. Beautiful new stadium out there. Decatur all day. They'll be able to name their score.
Yeah, I think it's Decatur and Aubrey in the second round, and the winner of that one will take on Salina. All right.
Hang on.
Region 3.
What Region 2? Who do you right now?
Oh, okay.
I've got it right now. I've got it Springtown versus Salina.
Yeah, I do too, actually. Yes.
I didn't know if you had Alvarado or.
Well, actually, you know what? No, I've got it Alvarado Salina. I'm sorry. I like Alvarado. I think Alvarado's a tick better than Springtown. Looking at two great quarterbacks between those two, right?
Oh yeah, and that might, if you want to start tilting, that will tilt towards Alvarado.
Yeah.
I mean, I like what Spring, but he's young.
And just Alvarado's got so much speed. If you've looked at any of their games, I've watched two of theirs now, and man, they've got speed to burn. And I know it's a different day and age with the way offenses are set up, but still, Alvarado and like speed kills. Alvarado's got it. I think Alvarado Salina will be that region final, and what a game that'll be.
All right, let's move on to Region 3. We've got at the top half Kilgore 8-2 versus Vider 5-5. This is actually a home game for Kilgore. They'll be able to name their score. 7:30 Friday, by the way.
I think Kilgore wins this ball game, but I don't know if it's a name their score type thing. I think Kilgore wins by 2 or 3 touchdowns. But
you're right. That slot T will muck things up, and that's what Vider does well. And they'll play keep away. But the issue is Vider's defense has been bad this year. Like they've given up a lot of points to good teams, bad teams, no teams. And I think at the end of the day, that's going to be the difference. But if Kilgore allows Vider to get 3 yards at a time and Vider's willing to go for a couple 4th downs, I could see it play out the way you think it is. Needville 6-4 versus Houston First 6-4. This is at Sugarlands Mercer Stadium. Love that place. 7 p.m. Friday.
Old school 80s, 70s, 80s stadium.
And it looks it in a good way. Give me Needville to set up the Kilgore-Needville rematch.
I agree. I think Needville Kilgore is a definite round 2 matchup. That we saw last year at New Caney, right?
And I will say this, Needville will not have any fear playing Kilgore. Needville was as physical as Kilgore. They just eventually got wore down in the second half.
Yeah, this is a different Kilgore team this year, though.
Is it? I mean...
Yeah, it is. It is.
I want to keep thinking about what I saw, and again, all the way back 17 weeks ago. But man,
I know, and that was a banged up Carthage team. I understand, but
I'm just saying, at times this year, Kilgore, I don't know if it's playing with their own food or they just kind of get stuck in the mud.
It's what Kilgore always does, but they end up in the playoffs, and I'm telling you, just don't sleep on Kilgore.
Oh well, no, I don't think anybody's sleeping on them.
I mean, they're going to be. Man, I mean, they're going to be region finalists, I think, because they'll take on in the 3rd round, right? LCM, Lindale, right? 3rd round we're about to talk about.
Yeah,
I don't see anybody that Kilgore can't beat in the bracket.
Oh, not in the top half or in the whole half. This region's really weird because legitimately all the tough teams
Huffman
come.
Hargrave's sitting down there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go see them on Friday against Chapel Hill. But let's go back.
LCM 8-2, Lindale 5-5. This game is at Orange's Battling Bears Stadium, 7:30 Friday. So this is one of those.
LCM gets a home game here, right?
Is Orange Battling Bear? Oh, okay, I was looking at the orange and I get confused by that.
Well, LCM's like right next. to
exactly.
Orange,
That's so this is one of those. Does the record mean anything? Because when you look at Lindale's 5 losses, we're talking competitively to Van, 1 point to Gilmer, 12 points to Chapel Hill. The Kilgore game got kind of out of hand at the end, and 6 points to Pine Tree. I mean, that those are quality losses because they were all very competitive games.
And compare that to LCM's schedule.
All right, let's look up.
Been pretty tough. I don't think they've been run through the ringer like Lindale has, but they still have a tough resume.
All right, LCM is 8-2. They lost their losses are the first 2. Hampshire Finette 13-7, and then Silsby. And this is when Silsby was before Silsby just kind of went 27-14. They beat Bridge City. They beat Huffman Hargrave, 2 teams that we think are really quality opponents. This is a fun matchup, man.
I'm taking Lindale on an upset.
I am too. I don't even know what's an upset.
I think LCM probably on paper should win this game in a close one, right? But I'm going to take Lindale in a very close one here to take on the winner of Yates and Navasota.
Oh man, I'm going with it too. Like I said, I don't even know if this is technically an upset. I think
It is an upset.
I think this is a pick-em game.
Oh,
if
you
anything.
you take the records. It's an
Well, yeah, if
upset.
you take the record,
All right,
that's true.
Let's go with that. All right, they'll take on the winner of Houston Yates 8-2, Navasota, and even 5-5 over at Rhodes Stadium in Katy.
Don't trust
it's
the records.
amazing that they're still playing games over at Rhodes when they got Legacy over there, but they still are. Give me actually, I think I like Yates in a close one here. It too.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to.
Can't do this show by myself, man.
We know that.
I mean, me and Playoff Tree can handle about 2 segments, but after that, we need somebody.
After that, the wheels fall off.
Yeah, I mean, he's technically still a tree.
Man, oh God, this feels like.
Don't think about it. Just go with your gut because I got to pee.
All right, I'm gonna go with Yates.
All right,
I just don't
Sweet.
trust that
Jack
at all.
Yates. All right, Houston Worthing. Now Navasota is going to win by
4 touchdowns and go on a weird
and
run.
then you look dumb, and I was like, I told you so. I told you Navasota was an underdog, and they were going to pull it all. All right, Worthing 10-0 versus Fort Bend. Crawford 5-5 over at Hall Stadium in Sugarland. Crawford was bad for so long. We thought, right? They were getting manhandled by Belleville on state TV, Texan Live.
Dude,
I was going to say national TV, but state TV.
It was.
But it might as well be national TV. Everybody pays attention to Texas.
It was ugly. And by the way, this is the new, first year program as far as play here. Give them
Who
credit.
has Houston Worthing played?
Let's see. They are 10-0, and they have played. Well, I mean, you can make the case that Wharton is their. I mean, Yates. They beat Yates. If we're saying Yates is going to beat
you know
Navasota,
what? Give me Worthing then.
Yeah, I think Navasota. I mean, I think Worthing wins this. That'd be cool to see them make. I don't know when the last time they made it to the second round, if ever. They've only made the playoffs like 20 times. But yeah, give me Worthing in this one, which is really weird to think that, because if you'd have told me at the beginning of the year, I'd have said there's no way 11-4 would win a couple playoff games.
Right.
But yeah, give me them in that. But that has the potential to be an ugly game. Here's the game that you're going to be at: Huffman Hargrave 9-1 versus Chapel Hill 7-3. This game is 7:30 Friday at Huffman Falcon Stadium.
Yep.
Look,
Huffman, Chapel Hill comes in with a bunch of injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their key playmakers on offense are out. Brisbane, don't think he's coming back.
is he out?
Well, I think he's out for another week or two, maybe high ankle sprain, I hear. So Huffman, offensively, they're averaging over 50 points a game. Braxton Storms, the quarterback. I mean, this is an offense that can go for Huffman, right?
Yeah.
And Chapel Hill, their defense is better than they were last year, but I don't think they're good enough to carry them and carry the offense.
Yeah, I think
like Huffman in this one, given Chapel Hill's injuries. If Chapel Hill wasn't injured, have a lot of injuries, I still might take Huffman in this one, but I still think it's going to be a close game.
I do want to say this for all the times that we have, doing what we do, we've got to pick teams and we got to talk about them and all. And at times it feels like we've been hard on Chapel Hill. But if this is the end for this class, what a fun class this was for Chapel Hill.
I really hoped everybody thought that they would at least get one state championship out of this team.
Yes.
Things haven't broke right.
Well, that just shows you how hard it is to win state.
They've
folks.
been the bad luck Cowboys.
Yeah,
too. I mean, they have the hard luck Cowboys. Chapel Hill has had injuries.
Weird things happening right before
mental
game. Yeah,
issues.
mental issues.
They haven't played up to their paper in the playoffs outside of last year's state championship game, but then they got the state championship, and I
I'm trying to
understand they
give
were
them a
outclassed
compliment.
by Anna, so I understand that.
I'm trying to give him a compliment, though.
No, I know, but I just
no, you're right. But I just want to point out that even though we've said all those things and we've been right, it has still been fun to watch this last 3 years of Chapel Hill.
And the story, the book's not written.
No,
it's not
they can
completely
still-
written for
yeah,
Chapel
you're right.
Hill. I mean, the Bulldogs still could make a run. They get past this first round playoff game against a very tough Huffman Hargrave team
Kind of breaks.
they could write their own story after that.
Let's go ahead and talk about that because let's move over to Stafford 6-4 versus Wheatley. This
I like
game is in
Stafford in
Stafford.
this
I
one.
like Stafford in this one. Here is one of the interesting ones.
Yeah.
Pine Tree 9-1 versus Bridge City 8-2. I hate when you get two teams that haven't been there for a long time and they have to play in the first round.
Yeah.
This game is in Pine Tree Friday at 7:30. Give me Pine Tree, but this is going. I mean, this to me is a pick'em game as much as a pick'em game
You
can
know
be.
what? I like Pine Tree, and I don't know if it is a pick'em. I like Pine Tree by 14 points.
I guess again, that's part of the pick'em. I can
Okay.
see that.
Okay.
Yeah, I could totally see that. All right, so where are you seeing this region?
I like this region being Huffman versus Kilgore in the region
I
final.
like the Huffman pick. I'm
Yeah.
gonna still go. I'm gonna go with Pine Tree versus Kilgore.
Not Chapel Hill versus Kilgore.
No, I'm like you. I have Huffman
Because I
Hargrave
think
beating.
Chapel Hill could make it.
I have
think
Huffman
Pine
beating
Tree
Pine-
could still make it.
I have Huffman beating Chapel Hill as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, but you're
But
right.
I think you throw those three teams in the mix, right?
Yes, yeah, I don't. I mean, well, you know what? If Bridge City beats Pine Tree,
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Throw
all
Bridge
bets
City
are
in
off
there.
on that. All right, let's finish off Class 4A Division 1 with Region 4, and we'll start with one of our favorites, LBJ 10-0 versus Fredericksburg 4-6. Now, this game is Friday 7:30 p.m.
Fredericksburg's a pretty good football team.
They're not that good.
Not as good as LBJ. LBJ is one of the best teams in the state with Ollie Scott, quarterback, Caleb Crenshaw at running back. Those two right there are electric.
And by the way, this game is in Marble Falls, Muscat. Very underrated. I like drive by there a few times over the last couple of years.
I've
and
seen
really
one
like this.
game there in my life.
Do you remember what it
10 or
was?
15 years ago. No, I don't.
Tuloso Midway 7-3 versus Lavernia 7-3. This is another. It sucks that this is a first round game. Friday at Corpus Christi's Warriors Stadium.
Give me Lavernia
God dang
all
it!
day.
I was hoping I would be surprised. Yeah, give me Lavernia in this one. Davenport, who nobody has talked about all year long, even though we have, but they're kind of like Panther Creek. It's like they have no. They have nothing connected to them because they're newish and they're in the, it's just weird,
Yeah.
but they're 9-1 and legitimately you can make the case they're a region favorite outside of Austin LBJ. They're taking on Manor New Tech 4-6. This game is Thursday at San Marcos's Toyota Rattler Stadium. Give me Davenport. The Wolves will name their score in this one.
Yeah, give me Davenport big. Barrett Fallon at running back, about 1,500 yards rushing. Pretty good defense down there at Davenport. So, yeah, give me Davenport. They win this one going away. Port Lavaca Calhoun, 5-5 versus the 7-3 Zapata Hawks over at Danaher Stadium in Corpus. Give me Calhoun in this one.
Yeah, give me Calhoun in this one. Bay City 9-1 versus Hidalgo 2-7 Thursday at Mathis's Pirate Stadium. Give me Bay City.
Bay City, and give me Bay City big in that one.
Canyon Lake 7-3 versus Austin Travis 7-3. This is at Fisher Hawks Stadium Friday 7:30. Give me Canyon Lake, the Hawks to win.
Yeah, that's right. Canyon Lake by 2 to 3 touchdowns, maybe.
Here's I guess an interesting one. You and I have not been real big on El Campo this year, and I think
the last 3 years.
well, but especially this year, they were state ranked for half the year, and I never understood why. And then they get in a
but
district.
El Campo was too.
No, I'm talking about El Campo. That's what I'm talking about. El Campo
Cal
was.
Allen was for the
Cal
longest.
Allen at least makes a little sense. I never understood the El Campo one, and then they got into district, and their district is good, but it's not oh my god great, and they lose three and barely get into the playoffs. But anyway, Cal Allen 8-2 versus El Campo Friday, Port Lavaca Sand Crab Stadium. I think Cal Allen wins, and I think they win pretty comfortable.
Actually taking El Campo in this one.
Wow,
in a close one. I think it's close, but El Campo's
I
going to
like
pull.
what Cal Allen is doing now. They're
I do
throwing the
too.
ball a
I
little bit
do
more.
too,
They're
but
more
I think
athletic.
El Campo's sitting down there. I've written them off all year. I think they're going to win a playoff game.
All right.
I have nothing to base that on. It's just a feeling.
I tell you what, if they win, because I think the winner of this one, the bottom half of this bracket, because the next
your toughest out would be what,
Bay City in 2
Bay City
rounds,
and Canyon
maybe
Lake.
Canyon Lake. Yeah, the winner of Bay City, Canyon Lake. So to finish that off, Taylor 5-5 versus Somerset 8-2.
Somerset. Give me Somerset.
All right, this game's Friday 7:30 at Austin's House Park Stadium. I agree with you as well. All right.
And then I like LBJ and Bay City in the region final.
Oh, man, that's going to be a fun one if that's what happens. All right, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to do it all again for 4A Division II right here on the 4A edition of the Bi-District Show, Sideline to Sideline, brought to you by Newer Guard Plus right here on L4 Media.
Hi, I'm Josh Bell with the Miami Marlins. I wear NeuroGuard to help with strength and coordination when I'm in the weight room, and help with balance when I'm on the baseball field.
One of the most comfortable, reduces concussion, increases performance. You can't get a mouthpiece like that on the market.
Not only is it a great product, it's super easy to use. I recommend it for any player, any age, at any level. Thank you guys so much, and go check out NeuroGuard Plus.
NeuroGuard mouthpiece makes it easier to breathe while playing basketball. The unique design is not as bulky as any other mouthpiece and makes you feel safe in concussions.
NeuroGuard. They control my breathing while I'm riding. It stops me getting concussions while I wreck. It's very easy to use, so go pick one up today.
I'm still doing stunts. And the concussions I've got, I feel much safer with that. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing a whole lot better in the gym. So NeuroGuard Plus, once this one wears out, you've got a customer for life, because I'm telling you people, NeuroGuard Plus is the way to go, and me, Mark Ash, says so.
Parents, kids, coaches, NeuroGuard. It's the future. Stay tuned.
We are back. Sideline to Sideline. We've done the Class 4A Division I first round. Now let's do. I don't like the way this has to do this. Let's bring back up 4A playoffs. And we've already went through 4A Division I, so let me work our way over to 4A Division II. Maximize, and here we go.
That is quality production work, sir.
That's what we do right here on Sideline to Sideline. Quality production work as I'm having some nice cold drinks and eating some dill
quality
pickle.
drinks, too.
Dill pickle kettle corn. This stuff is great, dude.
You're eating it all. You have not offered me any.
That's the way the life works, bro.
Okay, cool.
All right. What's the first game?
Wow, you've really melded in already, hadn't you?
Yeah,
all right. How about we go 4A Division II, Region 1, Midland Greenwood 9-1, taking on a 3-7 Borger Bulldog team over at Patriot Stadium in Lubbock on Friday. Give me Greenwood, man. Greenwood's got their stroke going right now. You got a tough one in the second round, no matter who wins, though.
They lost that second game of the year to Sweetwater, and since then they've been on an 8-game winning streak.
And some of them, a lot of them, been blowouts.
Yeah, and beating good teams. Now some of them beating good 3A teams, but it's still a good 3A team. Like Shallowater, they beat by 9 points.
Hey, Shallowater is a great win on your resume. Shallowater is, and we talk about 3A, they might be a region favorite down there. It could be in the state semifinals.
The crazy thing is in the Big R's preview show, we both predicted Sweetwater to win the region. Then they started the way they did, but they rounded back into form where that pick looks brilliant. Give me Greenwood in this one.
Yeah.
And they can name their score almost.
Yeah, they'll take on the winner of Benbrook 9-1, Mineral Wells 7-3 over at Kangaroo Stadium in Weatherford. Kind of a low-key nice stadium over there since they've redone it about 5 to 10 years ago. Benbrook, though, 9-1. Benbrook is one of the most underrated teams. You know, they had been a doormat since opening up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I always equated them to Carrollton Ranchview.
Yeah,
Your
that's a
enrollment,
really good comparison.
You would think Carrollton, Benbrook, wow, and they should be really good, but no. But Benbrook is legit this year at 9-1. Their running backs, Brennan Barton and Carlos Harris, have been tearing it up. Their defense is really good, and their offensive line is huge over at Benbrook.
Yep.
So give me Benbrook. I think Benbrook and Midland Greenwood in the second round will be a great playoff game to go see.
Give me Mineral Wells.
Oh, the upset.
Well,
a little
first-
bit, I guess it'd be an upset. Would it be an upset?
You know, I guess technically it would be. And I am a huge, I love what Benbrook's doing. But that Glen Rose game, man, it's not that they lost to Glen Rose. I have no problem with that.
I think you're
52-14, dude.
I know. I oversell Glen Rose and you undersell them. Somewhere in the middle is what.
Oh no,
Glen Rose
no.
really is.
I think Glen Rose is rounding back into the form where, again, just like Sweetwater, you and I were like, hey, Glen Rose might win this region, and we were real big onto that. But for Benbrook, again, you lose, that's fine. You lose by a couple touchdowns, that's fine. 52-14. I just think Mineral Wells with that defense, Mineral Wells defense has been sneaky good all year. I know they got shut out against Graham, Brock, but they held Brock to 21. The Graham game was 35-0, but that was 14-0 at halftime. A pick six happened, a fumble that almost led to a scoop and score happened, and the game got away from them. We see these every year in the playoffs. I'm telling you, this is just don't be surprised if I think Mineral Wells wins, but don't be surprised if Mineral Wells wins this game.
Okay.
Lubbock Estacado 6-4 versus Fort Stockton 6-4. This game Friday in Andrews Mustang Bowl.
Give me Estacado.
Give me
by
Estacado.
7-14.
Congratulations, new coach come in. They kind of started slow with a tough schedule, and they've bounced back really good in the district play.
Estacado's quarterback is the receiver at Tech. Is it Eric Ward?
That's kind of illegal if he's played at Tech and then they allow him to come back. He's the brother of
Coach.
Oh, the coach. Oh, that's right.
Coach.
Holy crap! I just realized. I just put those two names together. Wow, good job, dude.
All
Y'all
right.
might
Thank
keep you
man.
around.
That's why you have me on Outdrake the Coverage.
Brock-
I'm graduating.
Brock
a little
9-1
bit, right?
versus Godly 6-4. This game is 7 p.m. Friday at Burleson Stadium. You think Brock is terrible, and
I do not think Brock is terrible.
Barely made the no.
I think Brock was
They got a
terrible
lot to
against
prove.
Graham, and I think Graham showed what Brock was and how good Graham was.
So can hang on. Let's stop this.
Okay.
I want to have a conversation. All right. And all jokes aside, you know, we do a Brock show. We also do a Graham show. L4 Media is based out of Brock.
But I'm not based out of Brock.
Well, neither am I. I want to preface all this because I'm about to say Brock, I think right now, over the last couple of years, has a big game problem.
Well, they have an athleticism problem, I think.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about.
I mean, they got out athleted by Graham.
But I'm just talking about it goes past
got
that. They didn't
outplayed.
They didn't get out athleted by Malakoff last year. And in fact, again, I still contend that.
Malakoff had more athletes, but they didn't let those horses get loose on them 100%.
Well,
not
again-
like Graham did.
No.
Graham
But I'm talking about
athletically did all they wanted.
But I'm talking about let's go back even further.
Okay.
And this might be a situation where this is why
We're talking about two different classifications, right?
Yeah, but we're still talking about the same issue.
Lorena, you pull
Franklin,
Malakoff up against Graham.
Malakoff. Oh, Graham would blow the doors off Malakoff.
I don't know if they'd blow the doors off.
But it
of
would be
him.
comfortable. It'd be comfortable.
They could, yeah. The way they played the other night, because man, this Graham team is the real deal, dude.
Yeah. Oh no, I totally agree. I've told you this. I've got.
Remember the Glen Rose team that took Carthage to the
2
mat.
years ago, yeah. That's Graham reminds me a lot
This is
about them.
Graham in Class 4A, and if Graham makes a play when it needs to be made against one of the heavy hitters down in, say, Region 2, they're in the state championship, playing for a state championship, and they're good enough to win it.
No, I know, but I want to focus back on Brock. I think Brock has a big game issue. That they've got to figure that out. You know, that they've got to you know, they had Malakoff. I still contend that they had beat Malakoff 90% of that game, but the problem was the 10% that they didn't, Malakoff took advantage. Against Franklin, they went toe-to-toe with Franklin until Franklin needed one pass, and they got the first down that sealed the deal. I think Brock, whether it's
that was a Brock team that could play any game that was presented to them on the field.
Yeah.
I don't know right now. After seeing Brock against Graham, I don't know if that's the same Brock team we're seeing. And let me preface this, by the way. I still think Carthage wins for a Division II state championship.
Yeah.
I don't want people from Carthage saying, "What, you think Graham's going to beat Carthage in the semifinal?"
I think Graham can beat Carthage.
I don't know yet. I don't know. I still there's a big disconnect between Brock and Carthage right now, and what.
I mean, is there?
Yes.
Why do we keep assuming that? Why do we say that?
I mean, I saw it. I've seen it.
What have you seen from this year? Just this year. I'm not talking about year. What have you seen this year from Carthage that makes you think, oh yeah, they're 7.
When we saw them lose to Kilgore, Jet Surratt's on one leg playing hurt.
No,
they have
you're right.
3 other starters out. Carthage has gotten stronger by the year. What makes you think they wouldn't win?
I don't. Well, I think they can. I'm not trying to say they're not.
I think they're the prohibitive favorite.
I think it's become. And please understand when I say this, I don't mean you, and I don't mean. I think it's become lazy to just say, "Oh, well, Carthage." Okay, Carthage lost to Kilgore. What is Carthage's defining win this year?
Well, we'll start finding out because they're going to start continue wiping the field with everybody. I mean, it's Carthage.
Again, I just think.
I know they've got Gilmer coming up, right? That Quinlan Ford, Spring Hill. All right, Canton, maybe Pleasant Grove.
I actually might go see Canton Friday.
I just don't know why you wouldn't think Carthage would be the best team for a.
I think they very well could be. I just don't think it's cut and dry.
It wasn't cut and dry last year.
See, I think I felt like last year was more cut and dry. Like, I'm still shocked that Carthage did not win state last year.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't win it every year, but I think.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Carthage comes back. I think what we saw in Carthage week 1 when we were there personally, and Kilgore. Look, Kilgore played a great game plan. Their defense was amazing, but let's not forget that Kilgore was playing a beat up Carthage team without all their. They didn't, their 6-shooter had.
Again, though, I want you to understand. I'm not basing anything of what I'm saying off of that game. What I am saying, and this is not Carthage's fault. This is how your schedule works. They don't have a win on their schedule that you just go, oh yeah, that shows me Carthage is Carthage. And again, it's not their fault. Liberty Isle is really good. They're 3A. Chapel Hill is not the same Chapel Hill that they have been. Jasper's not been good. San Benito is not good. And then you get in the district, and I thought for the longest time that Center win was like, oh, that shows me. And then Center gets beat by Athens. By the way, watch out for Athens, folks. We'll talk about them here in a second. And then they get the doors beat off of them by Athens. So my only thing is what I'm trying to say is I just think it's become really easy just to say, oh, it's Carthage. And I'm just saying, I don't know if it is this year.
Well, I mean, after seeing them in person and seeing what they got up front, and they were, I've seen them in person once, watched a couple of their games online, granted, a half here and there.
Yeah. And again, they dominate teams so hard, it's hard to glean things from them at times.
Carthage to me, and I still, what I've seen on in person and on film, it's hard to pick against them because they're so darn good.
Oh no, I don't disagree with that. Again, I'm not saying I don't want people to understand. I'm not saying. I'm just
I understand what you're saying.
All right, let's go back to Region 1.
Yeah, how did we get off on that? All right,
that's
so
what we
had
do.
said Brock and Godley. I like Brock in this one. Yeah,
Graham
and Dunbar. Man, I like Graham. I mean, look, this defense, 5.2 points a game.
That's the thing nobody
on
keeps
average.
talking about with them.
Ty Thompson, quarterback. And let me tell you, when Ty Thompson gets rolling and that defense is playing like they have, they can play with the Carthages of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Graham, now Carthage can come up with a really good defensive scheme to limit Graham.
Well, and the
They
thing in
can.
the playoffs with Carthage is you're going to get something you have not seen all year
Right.
long offensively. They're going to do different things.
All right,
but
Perryton and Monahan. So Graham and Brock would play in the fourth round. No,
the region finals.
Region finals.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
never
back
mind.
to back.
For the rematch, if that happens. But I think Glenrose might have something to say. I'm just saying.
I think Seminole
Perryton,
might have
4 and
something to
6.
say.
Yeah, they could.
Let's get there. Go ahead.
But Perryton 4 and 6 taking on a 5-5 Monahan's team over at Woodrow's Pirate Stadium on Friday. Ooh, this is a tough one. Maybe Monahan's. In this
I like
one.
Monahan's. Monahan's.
It's not a foregone conclusion.
Oh no,
though.
no. This is, but Monahan's, definitely I think has kind of underperformed where we thought they were going to be. Last year they were 12-1. The year before they were 10-4. We kind of thought, they returned a good mix, especially their quarterback Chino Navarrete, but they've kind of underperformed this year, losing. And when they've lost, they've kind of got their doors beat. Greenwood beat them by a lot. Seminole beat them by 30. But in this matchup, I like the Lobos.
Yeah, me too. All right, Glenrose 8-2, Eagle Mountain 3-7 over at Kangaroo Stadium in Weatherford on Thursday. Give me Glenrose. I think Glenrose is starting to get right.
They're starting to get right. Eagle Mountain's quarterback got hurt a few weeks ago. Watch out for them next year, but this year Glenrose will name their score. Seminole 9-1 versus Levelland 6-4. This is at Denver City's Mustang Stadium. Give me Seminole.
Yeah, Seminole's just too tough with White Holstrom at quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in 4A, and then Logan McCormick. Actually, at receiver, White Holstrom and Logan McCormick might be the best quarterback wide receiver duo in all of Class 4A.
That's not too far of a thing to say.
No, it's not a reach.
You got to go look at those numbers and what they do week to week. All right, so how do you see this region right now? And again, folks, I just want to make sure this isn't set in stone. We go by our feel each week. So next week we'll ask the exact same question. Right now, I have it Brock and Graham in the region final.
I do too, and I wish it broke down to Graham and Seminole or Glenrose in the region finals. But
I still think you're underselling Brock off of one game, man.
I'm not, but I just don't know that they can make up enough against Brock. Heck, I don't know if Benbrook would be a foregone conclusion that Brock would win that game. I'm going Brock. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, what makes you think not?
I think Brock. I think you're looking at one game and making
No.
Let's go look at what. Let's go look
who's
at
Brock played outside of Graham.
Decatur.
Okay, I guess. I mean, Decatur's not like.
Okay, who is Graham played outside of Brock? Springtown. Springtown beat.
But Brock beat the shit out of Graham.
You mean Graham beat the shit
Graham
out?
beat the shit out of
But what I'm
Brock.
saying is, okay, Brock. I mean, if you want to,
Brock's not going to make up.
Okay,
38 points.
But yeah, okay, so the game doesn't start 38-0. I mean, we can go back to a comparison of, and I know this is old, long time ago. Wasn't it Quer? Who was it? Abilene Wiley. Yeah, it was
Abilene Wiley
Quer?
and Decatur. Decatur beat the
beat
snot
the crap out of them.
Of Abilene Wiley, yes.
And then Abilene Wiley beat them in the playoffs.
But that was a different Abilene Wiley defense. I mean, it was. Okay, if you want to put 100 on it, I'll put 500 on it.
I don't even know, and this isn't. This has.
I think Graham is going to fight a winner between Glenrose and Seminole in the region semifinals, and they're gonna have their hands full with that. With Graham's gonna have their hands full with a winner of Glenrose and Seminole. That's how I think this is gonna break down.
Yeah,
I think Graham. or I'm sorry, Brock is going to struggle a little bit with Benbrook. I don't even know if they beat them.
I don't even have Benbrook making it that far, but even if they did,
But who would beat Benbrook?
I told you I have Mineral Wells beating Benbrook.
Mineral Wells.
But,
Okay.
but let's say Benbrook beats Mineral Wells. I think Brock beats the doors off of Benbrook, like almost name their own score.
I think okay, yeah, they might beat them, but I think it's a toss up, and I could see Benbrook winning that one.
This is why I love the playoffs, man. This is exactly why I love the playoffs.
But I like Graham coming out of Region 1.
Yeah, right now I do too as well. But I'm like you, and again, I do. I don't know how to say this.
I was so impressed with Graham. It's not that I wasn't impressed with Brock.
Oh, I know. I know.
It's just what I saw from Graham. If that Graham team plays like they played against Brock,
yeah,
Region 1's theirs. And
no, I don't disagree with that at all.
And I mean, that sets them up. I mean, that sets them up nice. They win Region 1, man. I know they have to play the winner of a Carthage or a Gilmer or Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
But I think they got a puncher's chance.
All right. Speaking of, let's turn to Region 2. Van Alstyne 7-3 versus Ferris 4-6. This is at Plano Clark Field, Friday at 7 p.m. Give me Van Alstyne.
Yeah, give me Van Alstyne. And this one, Van Alstyne is going to be really good.
Yep.
Over the next 10 years.
They're pretty. Well, that's a long class. That's probably illegal.
I
no,
know.
but you're right. The
They're
explosion
about to
that's
be
happening
the
there.
largest,
Yep.
The fastest growing city in
Yep.
America outside of Salina.
And that always moves. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That now moves over. Athens 8-2 versus Van 7-3. This is at Friday. This is 7:30 Friday at Trinity Mother Francis Rose Stadium. This is, in my opinion,
it's a great game.
The best matchup, just pure matchup. I'm not talking about teams, but pure matchup of the playoffs. Van comes in 8-2. Zach Harrell, of course, the part of the Harrell clan. By the way, Sam Harrell finally retiring again. Congratulations on a great career at Ennis. But, nobody's talked about Athens. They come in this year. Their two losses were to Henderson by 10, and then Carthage, had their way with them. But again, it's Carthage. Van this year, every game it feels like they're in, even in their losses. Van is, to me, the toughest luck team because they just always get into the regions and into the districts where they just not quite there. But look at their losses: 6 points to Pine Tree, 8 points to Gilmer, and 13 points to Pleasant Grove. I got Van winning this game.
Me too.
But I think this game is going to be very, very close.
It's going to be a dogfight.
This even could be an overtime game. But I'm going to go. I just feel like Van. At some point, Van's got to break through, and I think they at least start that with a win in the first round. Then you've got Sunnyvale 6-4 versus Caddo Mills 6-4 Thursday, Wiley ISD Stadium. This was a
place to watch a game.
Great
Give
place.
me Sunnyvale in this one.
Well, I was going to say this was district brethren and had started a very nice rivalry over the last 6 years. So it's kind of fun that they're in the first round of the playoffs. Give me Sunnyvale in that one, and that means that they'll take on once again. Well, technically the winner of Gilmer versus Center at Tatum Eagle Stadium. I like Gilmer. Center's 8-2. I really was wanting to be like, hey, they could be a dark horse.
They could be. Man, look,
dropping that the way they dropped their last game.
I know, but that defense, that Ruttenhut defense, has been a lot better this year.
Oh no, it's been a vastly improved.
And they're not putting up 80 points a game like they were, but they're still pretty formidable offensively. Thing is, Gilmer's Brady McCown, when he's playing well, they're tough to beat. Give me Gilmer in this one.
Pleasant Grove 8-2 versus Bullard 2-8. This game is 6:30 Thursday at Texarkana's Hawks Stadium. Pleasant Grove names their score.
Yeah, it's a home game for Pleasant Grove. So yeah, and even if it was a neutral site or even in Bullard, Pleasant Grove wins with some big time. Canton 8-2 taking on a 7-3 Farmersville team over at Williams Stadium. I'm going to take Farmersville in a slight upset in this one.
Yeah, I don't even know. That's a good question. I don't even know that's being upset. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Farmersville as well. Carthage 9-1 versus Spring Hill 3-7. This is in Spring Hill.
Spring Hill's gonna pull the upset because you don't like Carthage. You've been talking crap on Carthage.
I like how somebody said it was really nice of Carthage to let Spring Hill be at home when they get their arse whooping. Yeah, Carthage will name their score.
Really? You thought that?
Anyway. Oh, I think.
I think Carthage big.
I just
I
said
think
that.
Carthage is a state championship type team.
I do too.
You don't even think they'll make it out of the region, though.
Never said that. Anyway, this is Coach X
Oh, I
says.
forgot. You said Brock was going to be Carthage.
Oh, that's right. It was Coach X that said it. This is going to be one of the best games of the first round. Ha ha ha. Sorry, even I couldn't make it through that one. Scott Surratt even let Spring Hill play at their stadium to kick the hell out of them. What a nice guy. And then Crum 8-2 versus Quinlan Ford 7-3. Mansfield's Newsom Stadium, best cookies you'll find in the state. Remember that Friday 7 p.m.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. Give me give me Crum.
Yeah, I like
That's
Crum, but Quinlan Ford's pretty close to being back where they were 2 years ago.
And they run an offensive system that's really hard to play against. They're going to run out backs. They're going to do multiple formations, but basically running kind of a slot T style.
Yeah.
But give me Crum. All right. So what do you think of this region? Because I'm going to tell you what, I think Pleasant Grove is just quietly sitting there loving the fact that nobody is talking about them.
Yeah.
And the turnaround that they've done from where they were at the beginning of the year. And the scary thing about Pleasant Grove is they're probably a year away from being where they were last year. I still have it at the moment, Carthage and Gilmer.
Yes, I do too.
I do have the winner of Athens and Van being a dark horse on the top half of the bracket, not to win the region, but I could see either one of them. Because, I mean, hell, Van took, Van and Gilmer, Gilmer won. It was like 31-23. So, I mean, it's not like it's, that they can't beat them.
I've actually got it Carthage and Pleasant Grove again.
Well, no, but Pleasant Grove and Carthage would play
actually,
in the
they'd play in the
third round.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
It'll
Carthage.
play out exactly like it did last year if things go the way we
the
think it
bracket
would.
I'm looking at wrong. All right, Region 3. So we're going to start out with Hampshire Finette, 9-1 versus a 5-5 Lamarck team. Thursday over in Alvin. Give me Hampshire Finette. Man, this Finette team, Ty Bryson, almost 3,000 yards passing. Braxton Starnes at receiver, Chris Augustine at running back. That's a three-headed monster on offense for the Longhorns, and their defense has been great so far.
I tell you what, man. Everybody thought last year was the year for them. The way this region is looking, I think that this might be the year for them to break out of this. But we'll talk about that.
They got a tough second-round matchup. Robinson 8-2 versus Sealy 7-3. Over at Green Stadium in Bryan on Friday. Give me Robinson in this. Sealy, too many injuries, and Robinson has been very, very good all year.
Robinson will probably not name their score, but it'll be comfortable. But that's not a knock on Sealy. Sealy, losing their quarterback and a couple other guys. I've said it before. I think Clint Finley's done a wonderful job there. Watch out for Sealy. If he stays there, I think that they're a legitimate team that could be finally building back to where they were.
They just got to stay healthy.
Hey, congratulations, West Columbia 7-3 versus Jasper 4-6. This is at Sheldon ISD Panther Stadium Friday, place we've been to and love. 7 p.m.
Our buddy Jeremy works the press box up there.
Yes, give me West Columbia.
Give me Jasper in this
I have
one.
no
I think
problem with that.
Jasper wins this ball game.
I have no problem with that. Here's an interesting one: Madisonville 6-4. We've talked about them ad nauseum. Versus Gatesville 5-5. This is at Rockdale Tiger Stadium, 7 p.m. Friday. Give me Madisonville, but it wouldn't shock me if this is a lot closer than what it should be.
Give me Madisonville by 14 points.
All right. Belleville 7-3 versus Waco Connolly 5-5 Thursday, Brian Green Stadium. I'm done with Connolly. I don't care about your athleticism. You have a wonderful quarterback. You'll score some points because Belleville secondary is a struggle this year. You can't fix it by this point.
Right.
But I think Belleville wins.
Conley cannot stop that running game from Belleville.
Oh, gosh, no.
With that quarterback and D.D. Murray at running back, P.J. Sanders.
And by the way, apparently Corian Hood, everybody said he was out. He's been walking around without the walking boot.
Uh-oh.
And
he was in the boot against Columbus, but he was walking really nicely.
Yeah, we even mentioned then he looked comfortable.
Like,
and did you know Belleville got another massive defensive tackle transfer in? He became eligible 2 weeks ago. So you've got, of course, Sanders, the 5-star, and I think this guy's a 4-star defensive tackle.
what? Are you kidding? Where did he transfer in from?
Let me check. Chase Burnett told me that. Speaking of, we appreciate that, Chase, for all your information.
While you're looking that up, I'll go on to Brookshire Royal 7-3, Silsbee 7-3, being played over at Madry Stadium and Channelview on Friday at 7:30. Give me Brookshire in this one, in a really close one. Actually, it might even be an upset. I think Silsbee would probably be favored in this game.
Man, Silsbee's had a weird year this year, so I don't know.
Well, Brookshire's had a weird 2 years,
I think
right?
everything, with 42 transfers coming in.
Yeah.
Give me Silsbee in that one, but that's a pick'em game. I don't have any feel for it. La Vega 7-3 versus LaGrange 6-4. Friday at Pflugerville's the field. Give me La Vega.
Yeah, I like La Vega. Man, if La Vega had a quarterback, it was effective.
Apparently they do now. Like that's look at what they've done offensively. They've we'll get there in a second. West Orange Stark 8-2 versus Sweeney 5-5. This is at New Caney's Randall Reed Stadium, another one of those great stadiums.
We went last year. That was
yes.
Kilgore and Needville, right?
Yeah. 7:30.
Give me West
Thursday.
Orange Stark, man. West Orange Stark starting to look like West Orange Stark again.
Yeah, and with offense. All right, so in my opinion, this region will come down to Finette and La Vega. And by the way, that second round game, La Vega, West Orange Stark's unfair. That would be a region final a lot of years.
I think it comes down to Belleville and Finette.
I have no problem. Wait, can that happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Belleville. I have no problem with that either. Dude, this region is stacked. Like,
I just don't see anybody stopping this Belleville running game.
I don't think you have to. I agree with you, but I don't think it's worrying about stopping them as much as they've also got to stop teams too.
Well, I think they can stop teams. I mean,
they haven't all year.
Well,
against good teams.
Really good teams.
If you're playing La Vega or West Orange, it's weird to say West Orange Stark has a good offense, but a West Orange Stark or a Finette, I know we're talking about them meeting in the region final. I mean, again, I think that is an issue. I think Belleville.
It could be, but those other teams have issues too.
Exactly, and that's why this is going to be this region is
so
going to be
I
really
like Belleville and Finette. All right, and you like
La Vega
Finette
and Finette
and La Vega.
Yep.
All right, Region 4, Wimberley 8-2, Pearsall 2-8 over at Alamo Stadium on Thursday. Give me Wimberley, Cody Stover, great dual threat quarterback, deadlier with his legs.
Yeah.
We saw him against LBJ, wasn't as effective.
But that
with
was
his
LBJ.
arm.
We need to make sure we understand
one of the
that.
best secondaries. Look, LBJ is one of the most athletic, if not the most athletic team in Class 4A Division II. I'll go ahead and say it. LBJ is the most athletic team out there.
I agree.
I mean, they're amazing. Their thing is going to be depth when it gets late. All right. Wimberley Pearsall winner will take on the winner of 8-2 Kingsville and Rockport Fulton sitting there at 6-4. This is a home game for Rockport. This is over at Pirate Stadium on Friday at 7:00. Give me Fullerton in this one. Fulton, not
Give me
Fullerton.
Kingsville.
You like Kingsville?
I mean, I do. I ain't gonna pretend I know
like
a lot about
Fulton
these
in
two
this one.
teams.
All right.
Carrizo Springs 5-5 versus
Navarro
4-6. Friday at Jordanton's Indian Stadium.
I like Navarro.
I like Navarro. Look, they're not what they normally are, and they have a lack of athleticism even beyond what they normally do. But they're still Navarro, and in the playoffs, that's still such a hard offense to try to game plan for and stop.
Yeah. All right. Cuero 7-3. La Feria 5-4. This is over. This is in La Feria on Friday. Give me Cuero on this one.
Yeah, give me Cuero.
All right. They'll take on the winner of Sinton and Rio Grande Gorilla, who is 0-9. By the way, this is at Jersey Stadium in Falfurrias on Thursday. Give me Sinton, man. This Sinton defense only allows about 15 points a game, and they got a great quarterback in Tristan Hansen.
Yeah, we fully are back on trusting Sinton.
Yes, I am. I've been down on Sinton as far as trusting them for the last probably 10 years.
Yeah.
And I am full on the Sinton Pirate train now. All right, Divine 8-2, Salado 6-4 over at Texan Stadium in Wimberley on Friday. Give me Divine, but this could be a close one.
Yeah, give me Divine, but Salato's going to have a little bit more athleticism, and just like Navarro, Divine runs an offense that's tough to defend. But if you start getting them off their schedule,
I don't think Salato's defense can do that.
Exactly. I don't think they, or at least they can enough. They might can a couple times, but not enough. Port Isabel 7-2 versus Ingleside 5-5. Friday at Falfurrious' Jersey Bull Stadium, 7 p.m.
How's this not a district game?
Yeah, I know. It's weird seeing it in the first round. Give me Port Isabel.
I like Port Isabel.
This is going to be a close one. And then here's I think, an underrated game. By the way, we have a Laga Vista coaches show. We did have a Bandera coaches show last year. Laga Vista 7-3 versus Bandera 7-3. This is at San Marcos Toyota Rattler Stadium Friday at 7 p.m. Give me Laga Vista, but I think this is going to be a really close game.
Yeah, I like Laga Vista in a close game as well. All right, so who do you like in Region 4? I'm going to say it. I like Wimberley and Sinton.
Yeah, I like
the region final.
Yeah, I like Wimberley and Sinton in the region final. I think Laga Vista could be a dark horse.
Have something to say about that.
I
mean, Sinton's going to have to beat Cuero again, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Cuero would hit Wimberley first.
Oh yeah, they would. They would.
And again, just right now, early field, give me Wimberley and Sinton.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, it was a long one, but a fun one.
How long was that one?
Hour and 20 minutes.
Whoa.
That's going to do it for the
Thanks, Playoff Tree. Thanks, Coach X. We had it all going on till you.
We'd had a 20-minute show if it wasn't for them. Anyway, that's going to do it for the By District 4A show. We want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, email the show, Grant and Terry at S2Sport.com. Find us on Facebook. Just type in Sideline to Sideline. And on Twitter, at Grant and Terry. Until next time, he's Grant, I'm Terry. And this has been Sideline to Sideline, the 4A edition.